Hi there, Highlander fans. Here on the Highlander Sports Network, we are recapping the women's soccer season here in 2021, and we're joined by head coach Allie Nick. Coach, an interesting season for you. You started off with a very tough schedule, and then things kind of clicked down the stretch in America East play. You end up making the America East tournament, the third conference tournament that you've made in your 6 years here at NJIT. What are some of your overall thoughts on this past season?
Definitely really impressed of how we ended the season. I think it shows true character of our team and the players that we have and the culture that we could stay in it and figure it out along the way and, make noise in the America East for our first real season. So I think coming off COVID year, we really had two freshman classes from the freshmen and sophomores. So trying to find our identity early in the season, and I think that's why we dropped some games that we could have won. But every single time we went back to the drawing board and figured out what it was going to take for our team to be successful. And I think that big turning point was our team figuring and believing that we can do it and how we have to do it and stay true to ourselves. And I think a big part of that obviously is our defense. So I think once we started putting pride in controlling what we can control, a lot of the games we started creating our luck, and we say that with the team because we started doing the little things on and off the field that we weren't doing early in the season. And I think a big part of that was our leadership from our fifth years and seniors, and then our juniors took a big role into that halfway through the season. And I think that's when you kind of saw our team evolve and turn into and figure out ways to win at that point.
Well, your identity certainly down the stretch was defense. You nearly held a 500-minute scoreless streak to end the season before the penalty kicks against New Hampshire. But that defense has always been kind of the identity of this program, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I think the reason why, too, I think it's something you can control. The ball might not always bounce your way into the attack, and we've seen that this year, some of the chances that we created. But we're always in every single game if we can keep things solid in the back. And we're a tough team to score on. I think the America East got to see that this year. They got to see what NJIT soccer is all about, and that they have to bring it into the attack. So that's why I'm proud of the girls. And it's not just our back line and keeper. I think they get a lot of the recognition from it. But our team as a whole, from the top down, I think we took a lot of pride in that. Set pieces, that was a big thing from the spring of 2021. We gave up a lot of set piece goals. And this year we rarely gave up set piece goals. So I think different things like that we started focusing on and doing much better collectively as a team.
Well, interestingly, you mentioned that the keeper and the back line get the recognition. Well, some of that recognition is that both Molly Saylor and Siani Magruder, the center back in front of her, were second-team All-America East, and the leadership that those players showed in the back line really shone through this year.
Absolutely. They're great players, obviously, on the field, but off the field, their leadership is tremendous, too. And I think a lot of the energy, the two of them stepped up halfway through the season and started owning how we have to play and making the players around them a lot better. I think Sydney Watson basically playing like as a freshman, but as she has that leadership of Siani next to her, her communication and her strength, we needed that. And that's what she brought through. So that allowed Siani to do a lot more of how she likes to play. And then you have Maddie Tybel and Ariana on the outsides as outside backs. And they did their jobs of what they needed to do. They were tough defenders. They owned their roles. But then Molly back there she obviously came up really big on saves, especially that Stony Brook, I think, kind of set off the conference play for us from that point on. But what she brings off the field is just that genuine care for her teammates. And I think that trickled all the way up to our team, and you saw that it was personal. If someone got beat, then there was somebody else next to them that would pick them back up. And that's a lot of stuff off the field that I think a lot of people don't see. They just see the results. But the results are a byproduct of that leadership that the two of them do off the field.
Well, now from the present to the future, you also had a freshman earn America East All-Conference honors in Caroline Caputo, and your freshman class really did step up at times this year. Kira Adams had a terrific season coming off the bench there. What does the future of this program look like for next year?
We were absolutely impressed with our freshman class. Caroline Caputo obviously making all freshmen. I think she's creative on the ball. She's something different than we don't have, and she brings that creativity to our attack, and I'm excited to see what her future as she keeps evolving and getting more confidence as a player. But like you said, Kira Adams, I think a lot of the players too throughout it, Alicia, Taylor, there was different times in the season that we needed them to do what their role was, and they stepped up and did it really, really well. So I think those little pieces don't go unnoticed with our team because people stepped up in different areas and roles. So this freshman class, I think their future is really bright. And even somebody, Danny Vito, didn't get a lot of minutes, and she might be one of the best defenders that we have down the stretch. I think as they're evolving and attacking, and Sam Constantine, who redshirt goalkeeper, is going to challenge Molly for that role. I mean, soccer IQ and her feet are some of the best we've seen. So I think there's a lot of promise, but they're soccer players. They're out there training already on their own. So just that culture-wise, they're going to be exceptional moving forward. And then the class that we have coming in is only going to add to it and build into our attacking unit since we have our back line returning, coming back in the future.
Well, Coach, again, congratulations on a terrific season making the America East tournament here in their first, as you mentioned, your first real season in the league after the COVID year in the spring of 2021. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you next fall.
Thank you.